Hey, it's 12 noon on Wednesday, so here I am. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's super nice outside here in the DC area. I think spring has finally sprung. Not sure where you are, but I hope the weather is as nice or better. So, thanks for joining in. I'm Deborah Porter with Moms Mentoring Circle, and I support at-home moms with systems to help them organize their homes, their lives, their kids, and also to realize their own personal dreams, goals, and desires that they have for themselves. So today, we're going to be talking about some end of the school year stuff. Hey, Tammy, how are you? We're going to talk about disappointment and how to help our children and ourselves really move through and handle disappointment. It's the end of the school year, so for some that means end of the school year awards. Hey, Stephanie. Awards, recognition, ribbons. The yearbook is coming out, so we're talking about most likely to succeed and all of those things. And maybe your child didn't get any of those recognitions. Maybe at the team awards banquet where trophies and acknowledgement was being given, maybe your child didn't get any of those accolades. Although I have noticed, thank you, Stephanie, same to you. Happy Wednesday. I have noticed, though, that everybody gets a trophy now. So when I was a kid, and I always said I wasn't going to be that person that said when I was a child. But seriously, though, when I was a child, first place, second place, and third place were the only people that got trophies. Nobody else got a trophy. The rest of us had to kind of ooh and ah over the trophies that our friends received. And we really were forced to celebrate with them. But it seems like now everybody gets a trophy. So anyway, that's a little side journey. But the other thing that we are dealing with right now and what some of our kids are experiencing are college acceptances or college rejections. You've got people talking about, my kid got into 8 schools, my kid got into every school they applied to. Maybe your kid didn't get into their dream school. Maybe your kid is still waiting to hear from. And this is even in elementary and high schools, middle schools. There are some really prestigious schools that parents are trying to get their kids into. And that may not have happened yet for your child. So, hey, Debbie Mercer, how are you? So today we're going to talk about helping our children deal with disappointment. And these tools are good for us as well, right? Who has not had to manage through and deal with disappointment? So it's not a matter of if my child is going to be disappointed. It's when. And when they're disappointed, how will they manage through it? How will they pivot? How will they learn? How will they refocus? And we really have to ask ourselves, how have I handled disappointment? Because some of this stuff is more caught than taught. So we really need to look at, as a parent, how am I modeling my own disappointment and the things that I have to manage through? Failure to learn how to manage disappointment can result in our children or ourselves quitting prematurely, or even failing to launch and do the thing that we're wanting to do for fear of failure. So it can cause premature quitting and a failure to actually launch in the particular activity that we're wanting to achieve. So I only have 5 points. I'll be here maybe 15 minutes to talk about helping our kids and ourselves manage disappointment. The first one is setting realistic expectations. And the first thing I think about when I think about setting realistic expectations is American Idol. And the people that get on there that cannot sing, they have friends that know they can't sing. And I'm always saying, where is their mother? Like, I would not let a child of mine do something that I know is not their strength without at least saying something. But you've got these folks on here singing, proud, national TV, when they may be a great musician or great artist or many other things they may be fabulous at. So helping our children and ourselves set realistic expectations, not dumbed down or low expectations, but realistic. What are you good at? What do you love? What are your gifts, your talents, your abilities? What are the things you desire? What are you passionate about? What are the things you really want to do? Let's focus maybe on those areas. So that first point was setting realistic expectations. Second point is allowing them or ourselves to actually feel and experience disappointment. We talked about the lawnmower parent a few weeks ago, right? Just mowing anything out of the way that's going to cause their child any hurt, harm, pain, disappointment, hurt feelings. Let's not be her, right? It's important to be able to feel and experience disappointment, to be able to manage that emotion so that that emotion does not then manage you and take over you. So it's important for them to actually feel it so that they can work through it, talk through it, pivot if necessary, make changes if necessary. But the second point is allowing them to feel and experience that. The third point is to look for the lesson and the point or the place of growth in the situation and in the disappointment. What is it that they can learn from what happened? What is it that they can improve upon? Is this an activity or something they want to try again? How can they be better the next go round? What did this reveal to them about themselves? Any disappointment that we go through ultimately reveals something to us about us. Maybe I was better at it than I thought. Maybe I was worse than I thought. Maybe I shouldn't have tried that at all. Maybe in my disappointment in that, I discovered something else that I'm good at or that I enjoy. So the first point was setting realistic expectations. The second point was feeling and experiencing disappointment so that the emotion does not manage you. The third point was find the lesson or the place or point of growth in it. The fourth point is encourage or build up their confidence or your own confidence. If you as a mom are dealing with disappointment, that may mean writing down the things that you're good at, right? So I am not, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I'm not the best cook in the world. We won't starve. We won't starve. We will eat and we'll be nourished and it will be appropriate. But I am not the best cook. Hey, Tiana, Coach T in the house. I'm not the best cook, but I can make some slamming mac and cheese because my sister-in-law gave me a great recipe. So, I know where my strengths are. I know where my weaknesses are. And I'm not ashamed about either. So know where your weaknesses are, know what your strengths are, encourage your child in their strengths and encourage their confidence. Let them know the things they're good at, not made up stuff. Like, you are just so good at, something real and based on their age, right? So you're great at tying your shoe. Remember when you couldn't do that? You couldn't tie your shoe this time last year. You are great at tying your shoe. You, in fact, help me by tying your little sister's shoes when we have to go somewhere. You are a hard worker. You will outwork everybody. It doesn't matter who or what's going on. I can count on you to give your best all the time. Find those things to really compliment. And if it's for yourself, write that stuff out. Write that stuff out to remind yourself the things that you're good at and the things that you do well. Everybody's not great at everything. And so we have to celebrate the gifts that we have. Debbie Mercer says, I'm glad you have this segment. Very informative. I'm raising my 11-year-old granddaughter. Okay, that is amazing, Debbie. That's fantastic. Hey, Darlene, good afternoon to you too. Okay, so the fifth point, this is the last point. And this is another one that's more caught than taught. Be grateful. It's important to teach our children to have a spirit of appreciation, of gratefulness, of thankfulness. In all things, give thanks. Not necessarily for all things. We're not necessarily happy about everything that happens to us, but in it, I can be thankful. I can be grateful. There's always something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for a second chance. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Look, some of our kids are going to some of the most prestigious and some of the best schools in the country or in their district. Some are playing on the most competitive soccer and sports teams. There's always something to be grateful for. So helping them to refocus, to pivot a little bit, and be able to find the thing to be grateful for can put things in perspective. All right, so the 5 points were in helping our children and ourselves manage through disappointment is setting realistic expectations, feeling the experience, feeling and experiencing the disappointment so that the emotion does not take over, but that you're able to manage the emotion. Find the lesson or the point of growth in it. Encourage and build up their confidence or your own confidence if you're the person going through the disappointment, and find something to be grateful and thankful about. It's not that difficult. And then there's a bonus. The bonus is get back on the horse. Don't let them retreat. Don't let them give up, because that can set up a dangerous pattern. If every time something gets difficult, they quit, right? I've seen it time and time again, and I know, maybe some of our own kids have done it. They sign up for a sport or for an activity. They get a couple weeks in, they don't like it. They're not that great at it. I don't want to finish. I don't want to do it. Do we make them finish? Do we not make them finish? It's important to be able to stick with it. If you've given your word, you've signed up for it, let's get through this one season. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But don't let them retreat. Don't let them retreat from what's difficult, because that can set up a pattern in their lives that's difficult to back out from. So I am here, you guys to support moms, moms that are wanting to set up systems in their own home. But I'm also here, moms, because I know it's not just our kids that deal with fear, right? Our kids are not the only ones that deal with fear and retreating and being afraid and not showing up as their greatest selves, but backing down. But we as moms do that sometime too. So I just want to share with you, I had the opportunity to join in a great collaboration, writing a book called Dear Fear. This is it. It's on sale now. It's 10 women's stories. And we're talking about the thing that fear tried to take from us and what we did and how we chose to turn that fear into faith and to not give in to fear. All of us have battled fear, man, woman, boy, child. And some of the chapters in the book talk about, dear fear, you can't have my testimony. You can't have my validation. You can't have my breakthrough. There are all kinds of things that each of us have battled with and are battling with. That fear is at the root of it. So I'm going to put a link up. If you're interested in finding out more about this book, it'll be up on the Moms Mentoring Circle Facebook page. If not, don't worry about it. The other thing I'm going to put up is a link, because I'm here to support you as a mom. I'm here to support you with putting systems in place that are going to help you feel like you've got a better handle on what you've got going on in your world. So I'm going to put that link up right under this video. If you want to talk more about how Moms Mentoring